Okay, what we're going to look at now is the Chapter 4 test part 2. I ran out of time on the last video. I had to shorten it up a little bit. So this is where I left off. Okay, now what you're going to have to be able to do on these problems here is to combine your like terms and simplify these down. Okay, the directions on this type of problem are going to read to basically simplify the expression. Okay, so when you simplify an expression, the first thing you want to do is, if you have any parentheses involved, take care of them. Get them out of there. Also add the opposite. Okay, I'm going to add the opposite right here. So I'm going to change this from subtraction to addition, this next number, to its opposite. So I'm going to go plus -3 right here. Okay, now this right here, this s plus -3, okay, it's being multiplied by 2. It's 2 of these. So it's like putting 2 of those together. You know, so here's the process that we use for getting there. Okay, just like this. 2 times s is 2s. We bring down our addition sign, and 2 times -3 is -6. Okay, and then I'll fill in, I'll bring this other stuff down here. Okay, now make sure you don't bring this 2 down, because this 2 was part of getting rid of that set of parentheses right there. Okay, now we can combine like terms. Okay, and the s's can be put together. So an 11s and a 2s make 13s. Okay, and then we can also put together our constants here. -6 plus 4. Okay, that's -2. So we want to write that as -2. Okay, not plus -2, but -2. That's a more simplified way to write it. I would certainly give you credit if you wrote plus -2, but this is a better answer, -2. Okay, let's look at this one right here now. Same thing. Okay, first step, let's add the opposite. Okay, now 4 times 2 is 8, so we got 8t here. Okay, we're multiplying, remember, and then we're also multiplying over to here. Okay, bring my plus sign down. 4 times -2 is -8. Okay, so that took care of the parentheses. That took care of this right here. And if you want to cross it out so you don't get mixed up, you know, that might help you. Okay, plus 17. Okay, bring this down here, my addition sign, and my 15t. Okay, now my last step is to combine like terms. I can put 15t and 8t together. Okay, 15t and 8t is 23t, so 23t. Okay, that takes care of this and this. And I can put my -8 plus 17 together, and that's going to be +9. Okay, so plus 9. Okay, that takes care of these 2. Okay, now, so there would be your answer to that problem, 23t plus 9. Now, use your calculator to help you, or you've got to combine the like terms. Don't make a mistake combining like terms, especially when you're allowed to use a calculator on a test. Okay, so that takes care of those 2. All right, here's 2 more. Okay, very similar, but a little bit more to them. Notice this one, lots of subtraction. You know, they want to show that you can add the opposite and understand that concept. So that's the first thing to go through and do. Add the opposite, add the opposite, add the opposite. Okay, that's real important in getting this problem correct. Otherwise, you're going to end up combining terms incorrectly. Okay, now, we multiply here to get rid of the parentheses. We multiply and multiply. So 3w plus 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, now I'm going to transfer everything else down. This is a negative. Okay, at my addition sign, -9. My addition sign, -8w plus 21 here. Okay, I just moved everything down after I took care of my set of parentheses. Okay, one step at a time. Okay, now let's combine our like terms. What we want to do is we want to do variables first. We want variables, and then the last step is to put your constants together. So I'm going to start with -8w. Okay, a negative 8W and a negative 4W, I'll add those together first. That's negative 12W. So I'm going to cross these two out. I got negative 12W, okay, plus a 3W. Negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9. So I'm going to have negative 9W. And use your calculator, like I said earlier, to help you do that. Okay, now I look and I just have constants left, and I can add those together. Now a negative 9 and a positive 9 cancel one another out. So these we can just cross out, nothing there. And the only thing left is a 21, and it's a positive 21, so it's plus 21. So there is the answer for that problem. Negative 9W plus 21. All right, here's another one, very similar to this one up here. First thing I'm going to do is go through and add the opposite. Add the opposite, and down here, add the opposite. Next step, I'm going to take care of this right here, the set of parentheses. 2 times 3 is 6m. Bring my addition sign down. 2 times 1 is 2. That takes care of all of this right here. Done. Okay, now I can transfer everything down like I did on the other problem. And make sure when you transfer things down, you transfer them down correctly. Any little mistake is going to cause you to get the wrong answer. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking to make sure I transferred my stuff down correctly here, and I have. Okay, now I'm going to combine my like terms. I'm going to start here with my negative 6m. Here's a positive 6m. Negative 6m and a positive 6m cancel one another out, so I'm just going to go ahead and X them out. They would be 0. I have a negative 3m down here, but there's nothing else to combine it with. That goes first, negative 3m. Now I use my constants. I got an 18, a negative 6, and a 2. Okay, I'll add my positive numbers first. 18 and 2 is 20. So I have 20 so far. And then plus negative 6. 20 plus negative 6 is positive 14. That takes care of this. So it is plus 14. And like I said earlier, use your calculator to combine like terms. So negative 3m plus 14 is the answer to that one. Okay, another thing you're going to have to be able to do on the test is you're going to have to be able to pick out like terms and name them. And you're going to have to be able to pick out constants and name them. Okay? So if we take a look at these two problems and we find the like terms and constants, let's take this one first. Add the opposite right off the bat. Add the opposite. Okay, now let's pick out the like terms. The like terms are the things that can be put together, combined together. Okay, well, 5r and negative r are like terms. That's like a negative 1r, by the way. So the like terms in this problem would be 5r and negative r. Now, if you don't add the opposite, you're probably going to put a positive r instead of a negative r, and that would be wrong. So that's why you want to first go through and add the opposite. Another like term in this problem are 8 and 1. Those could be combined. So 8 and 1 would be a like term here as well. Okay? The constants. The constants are the numbers without variables. Here's a constant and here's a constant. They can be combined. 8 and 1 are constants. Okay, so here are the like terms for this problem. 5r and negative r, 8 and 1. And the constants are 8 and 1. Okay, so let me cross this one out now. We did that one. Let me cross out these answers as well. We don't want to mix them up with the next one. We're going to do the next problem also. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one. It's all addition. Okay, so first of all our like terms, the ones we can put together. 14q and 3q can go together. They have the same variable. Okay, so 14q, and I'll write it right up here. 14q and 3q are like terms. Okay, no other like terms. There's an r, but there's not another r to combine it with. There's a 6, but there's not another constant to combine the 6 with. That's it for like terms in this problem. Constants in this problem, the numbers without a variable, and the only constant is 6. Okay, so the constant for that problem is 6. All right, So there is that one. Okay, now here is some help for your bonus problems. Okay, depending on what form of the test you have, these would be help for your bonus. Write them down, bring them in, and you got a good chance of getting the bonus right. This one here deals with Tiger Woods making this amount, 1,260,000 in a Masters tournament. Okay, that was 2.5 times more than he made in a Masters tournament he won earlier. So they wanted to know how much did he win in an earlier tournament. This would be the setup. 2.5 times y equals 1,260,000. And now if you solve for y, you'll have your answer. Divide both sides by 2.5, so this is how you would solve this one. You divide both by 2.5, divide this side by 2.5, right? These cancel. So then y equals 1,260,000 divided by 2.5. Use your calculator, you'll have your answer. But you got to list this, you got to give this, and also solve it. Okay, this one deals with the area of the Great Lakes. Okay, and it's 1/5 the size of one of the seas. Okay, and then it's also 9,420 square miles smaller yet. So that's why we're subtracting that from it. So on this problem, what you have to do first is solve this right here. Okay, so really 1/5 times this number times 150,000, you're really dividing by 5 here. Okay, that's what you're doing when you're timesing by 1/5. You're dividing by 5. So 150,000 divided by 5, and then subtract 9,420 from it, and you'll have your answer to that bonus. All right, so jot those down, bring them in, and you should be able to get those bonus questions correct. All right, thank you.